And you're back with those people, and also with Regal RC, who is the founder, owner, CEO of Regal Pest Prevention.
Yeah, so we were just talking about the commercial service that you provide. Is there a building that's too large that you're not going to take on?
You know, it's not a matter of the building being large or small. It's really the service. Okay, so to be specific, food handling is really going to be the deciding factor. We can take on large buildings, be it strip malls, hospital, for example. That's a pretty large building. Warehouses, distribution centers. They're probably the biggest thing going on right now.
Right.
A lot of those are typically corporate accounts that are handled nationwide. But yeah, anything from a dentist office all the way up to, say, a warehouse. However, food handling, that's another consideration. So, for example, what we won't take on will be like food chains, like a Kentucky Fried Chicken or Burger King or something like that. Again, typically that's going to be a large national account, some large operation that handles nationwide service. But even if it was local, they've got some challenges, and you want to be properly staffed. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I don't want to overreach, and I want to be real careful there. So on the commercial side, you really have to make sure you're really staffed up. When a commercial operation says jump, you say how high. You know, when they say come, you say I'm coming. You know, there's no delay.
Especially if there's food service.
Absolutely, and that's
the
key. Exactly, and that's the point. You're right, Sandra. So food, I mean, that's their reputation.
Yeah,
they have to be protected, and so when they need service, you better be ready to respond. You cannot delay. So I'm very choosy on what food facilities I'll take. I usually will work with independent restaurants. You know, private owners. Good relationship, very personable, very flexible, and we can work with them. But a chain account, it's just too many variables, you know. So really, that in the end, that's the deciding factor for us on a commercial basis. But love doing commercial service. I love being behind the scenes of operations. And I remember years ago when I was with Truly Nolan in my early days, we took care of old Tucson studios.
Wow.
And I was a commercial manager at the time, and oh man, I would purposely go with my guys to work and you know, get behind the scenes, and I just love that side of the business. So we're ramping it up more and more. We're real excited about it.
You know that old Tucson is back.
Yeah.
And they're doing summer concerts
it's coming
right
strong.
now.
Yeah. You know, it was really sad when they dipped for a while. And I mean, that's Tucson, you know, and no, it's really great to see. It's so southern Arizona.
I think it's Southern Arizona because it comes back strong. One thing about us in this city is that we may have issues, but most people come back strong and a little bit better. One thing I was going to ask you is you talked about commercial, dealing with commercial assets. 24/7 operation when it comes to being with commercial?
You need to be.
Okay.
Yeah, 24/7, as well as it needs to be very, people pet friendly, so to speak, you know, very non-intrusive applications. You're dealing with not just the employees of the operation, but you're dealing with patrons. And in today's environment, there are just so many variables, people that are, hyperallergenic or, have autoimmune issues, chemically sensitive, along with a bunch of other quote unquote sensitives. We'll leave that alone. But, you just have to be real careful. And so when you're working for the owner of that operation or the management team, you've got to be able to present to them that you're going to be able to deliver a service that really will guard them against insect pressure, but at the same time protect, be mindful of the environment, be mindful of their surroundings and their patrons. So it's a real professional level of service. You've got to be on your game when you deliver commercial service. It's quite a challenge.
Now, when you're dealing with a hospital, do they have specific products that they have authorized for that environment, or are they relying on you as the expert?
It's not so much products that they authorize. It's more about products that they don't authorize.
Okay.
There's restrictions. It really falls more in that category. You also have to present to them all the materials in advance, label MSDS sheets, things like that you're going to be using. Things have to be logged. There's reporting documentation that has to be pretty stringent. And even down to employees being background screened and proving that and making sure that you have clientele that are safe from, a vendor. So there's just so many, hoops and, to jump through. And it makes it very fascinating to me. It makes it very strategic. And the company that can present these things in a very professional manner and follow through, right? Like actually deliver those items and not just do lip service. Those are the companies that'll succeed in those markets.
What I'm hearing from you, get your take on, is that it's more of an interview both ways. You're
Yeah.
interviewing them
Yeah.
to find out what do you really need, and they're trying to find out whether you're capable of doing
you
it.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, that word interview is everything. When I train my sales team, that's exactly what I tell them is you're being interviewed, but you're also interviewing. You have to get enough information to properly prepare the service plan.
Right.
Whether it's Mrs. Jones and her little 1,600 square foot, Oro Valley home, or it's this large commercial operation. You must ask all the right questions, get all the right data, but at the same time, you're being interviewed. You nailed it. That's exactly what it is.
When we talk about chemicals, you've always said before when you've been on the show that you guys are non-intrusive and pet-friendly because the company, or rather the organization, the community is all about that too.
Yeah.
You talk a little bit more about that? Remind people that.
Yeah, when we do our continuing education trainings and we have, distributors in town that a lot of all our companies buy our products
Right.
from, and even the manufacturers themselves when they come and do presentations, the entire industry really is very focused on sustainability and, being green and, less intrusive products and products that don't cause adverse effects to both people and the environment. It is really a community-wide and industry-wide focus. Yeah. Now, you still as a company have a choice to buy, cheaper product or, products that are maybe a little more dangerous, if you would. But in the end, I've learned that a lot of the companies that are here in Southern Arizona, at least, they really are mindful of the product choices. And so, but at Rego Pest, we absolutely focus on using the lowest toxicity materials, naturally occurring products. But in the end, to finish this up, it really comes down to the way they're applied. The products are there, but you've got to do it in a responsible manner and intelligently. And that's why I always like to say we provide intelligent pest control. And I got to tell you, when it's not intelligent and I hear about it, I'm not happy. And I fix it because every now and then an individual doesn't operate intelligently and they are informed as to how we feel about that. So we make a quick correction if needed.
Well, and you have to take care of your employees as well.
Yep.
Remind everybody how long you've been in the business, Rego.
So Rego Pest just celebrated its 16th year this July, and I've had the pleasure of doing this since 1990. So, gosh, what are we on? 33 years. So, yeah, we're really proud. Rego Pest Prevention, you can reach us at 520-744-6177, or you can look us up at regopest.com. Great website. And we're real proud of the service we provide. And to your point, I'm really proud of my team. Great guys and gals.
And you guys have a Facebook page that's got some information on
Yeah,
pest control
we
as
just
well.
started getting that going. It's early. It's early. Danielle keeps reminding me that it's baby steps.
That's her generation, right? She kills Facebook.
Yeah,
You
she
have
used
to
to.
know they're on Facebook.
Yes, I
There's
know.
information out there. There is information about the bugs and about pest control.
Yeah.
So
We've got to ramp
there.
that up. I'll be honest. I'm so old school, but I've got staff that can do this, and I just need to task them, get it going.
Do you have your MSDSs on Facebook, or you can try to put them out there, or do you have to have
They're
them?
available through our website.
Okay, so they're available.
Yeah.
Right, we're here with Rego RC, who is the founder, CEO of Rego Pest Prevention, a local company here in Tucson. You're listening to the I Am Real Estate Show on 1030 AM The Voice. We'll be back with a little bit more talking about Rego and what's going on in pest prevention. We'll talk a little bit about flying, swarming stuff and all kinds of bugs that may scare you, but don't scare me because I have a great pest prevention team. With that being said, we're going to the break. We'll be back to talk a little bit more with Rego RC, who is the founder of Rego Pest Prevention.